Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to prepare tortilla soup. To get started with the recipe, we're going to start by cutting the tortillas into small strips. I'm going to start with this step first so the tortillas can hydrate before we fry them. You can also cut your tortillas the night before, spread them over a cookie sheet, and leave them in the oven overnight. By hydrating the tortillas first, the tortillas will soak a lot less oil when frying them. Next, we're going to clean 2 chile anchos. When purchasing chile ancho or any other type of dry pepper, make sure they're nice and pliable like this. If they're a little crispy, they're still good, but that just means they've been on the shelf for a little longer. We're going to remove the stem, and then using our scissors, we're going to cut it open to remove the seeds. Before removing the stem and the seeds, I ran them under cold water to make sure they're nice and clean. Once we're done removing the seeds from both of the peppers, using our kitchen scissors, we're going to cut them into thin strips like these. In a medium stock pot, heat up a generous amount of your preferred cooking oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to fry 2 corn tortillas. The corn tortillas we're going to use for the preparation of the sauce. This is going to give our sauce a light thickness. You can add 1 or 2, depending on how thick you prefer your soup. Next, we're going to fry the tortilla strips until they're nice and golden and crispy. I usually cut my tortillas a little smaller because it makes it so much easier to eat the soup, especially for the little ones. Next, we're going to add in the peppers and fry them for a few seconds. You don't want to fry these for too long, otherwise it will have a bitter taste. These peppers are not spicy, we're going to use to garnish the soup. But you can also add a handful to the blender when blending the ingredients for the sauce. Before adding the rest of the ingredients to the stock pot, remove some of the excess oil if needed. Then add in the 6 roughly chopped tomatoes, season with a little bit of salt and black pepper, and saute for about 2 to 3 minutes or until the tomatoes begin to wither. Then add in 3/4 of an onion roughly chopped and 2 to 3 garlic cloves. Saute for an additional 4 to 5 minutes or until the onion is lightly caramelized. Once it reaches this point, we're going to take it over to the blender and blend the ingredients. Transfer the tomato, onion, and garlic to the blender, including the drippings from the tomato. Break down 1 to 2 of the fried corn tortillas and add it to the blender as well. And to help blend the ingredients, add 2 to 3 cups of chicken or vegetable broth and 1 tablespoon of tomato or chicken bouillon. Blend all these ingredients on high for 2 to 3 minutes or until it has a nice smooth consistency. And pour it into the same stock pot that we used to fry the tomato, onion, and the garlic. I used 2 more cups of the chicken broth to get the remainder of the residue from the blender, and then I poured it into the stock pot as well. And to bring all these flavors together, I'm going to add a few leaves of epazote. If you can find epazote in your area, you can use parsley or cilantro. Bring to a simmer over medium-high heat. Once it reaches a light simmer, turn it down to low-medium heat and simmer for an additional 8 to 10 minutes. At this point, you can also taste it to see if it needs additional seasoning and adjust the seasoning to your taste by adding more salt, tomato, or chicken bouillon. At this point, we're going to turn it off and we're going to keep it covered for about 5 minutes while we prepare the toppings. Add a few spoonfuls of the soup to a large bowl. Add the tortilla chips before serving so the tortillas can be nice and crispy and not soggy. And for toppings, I'm going to add a few strips of the chile ancho, queso fresco or queso panela, avocado, and Mexican sour cream. Well friends, we've reached the end of this delicious recipe. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful in any way, leave us a heart or a comment so we can continue to share more recipes like this one. Thank you so much for watching and make sure to join us in our next video for another delicious recipe.